Today, we are talking with Lori Eaton. She's the SVP of Company Relations at LaunchCode. Lori, thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have to be a part of this.
All right. So we are talking to a lot of people at a lot of different companies, talking about how companies can find more IT software people for their organizations. There's a big demand in needing more technical talent, and there's just not enough technical talent to go around. One of the things I often say is that computer science programs are graduating new people in the hundreds, and companies are demanding them in the thousands. There's a gap. Where are the people that we're going to have for the next 5 years or so, 10 years, going to come from? And that's a problem that companies need to figure out. And LaunchCode has helped do something to solve that problem. Lori, can you tell us a little bit about LaunchCode and how you guys are solving that problem?
Absolutely. So we were founded based to solve that problem you just mentioned. So LaunchCode is a tech talent accelerator, and basically we were created when Jim McKelvey went to start his own startup. Some of you may be familiar with Square, but when he started the organization, he really struggled to find local talent in St. Louis that could do junior tech talent roles. And so he ended up having to move his company to California to really perform. So that always bothered him because he felt like there were good, smart people in the local community that if they had access to education or by whatever means, that they could actually do these jobs. And so we really strongly feel as an organization, if you can do the job, you should be able to get the job. So Jim created LaunchCode as a nonprofit, and basically we take people in the local communities that we serve and we provide free technology education. And then once they're done with their education, we help them launch their first job in tech. So my job and my team's job is really to connect with company partners to figure out how we can help solve some of their tech talent gap. And so we are essentially creating net new talent every day to help solve this need.
And that's a good thing. We need it out there. So who's the profile of who comes into the program?
So we run about 10 courses every year in the different markets that we serve. And we see a lot of people from non-traditional backgrounds. We get a lot of career changers. Anybody from a barista, a lot of people in the service industry. We saw a lot of teachers come into the program through COVID, just wanting to make a change. So I would say our sweet spot is probably the late 20s to early 40s from an age group. But anybody over the age of 18 can come through the program, and we've had somebody as old as 70 days young go through the program. And the qualifications, you need to have about a junior high school level of math and science to be able to do the roles. But we also target people from underserved communities, wanting to give them an opportunity. You'll see a strong sense of diversity within our classes. So our goal is when we register a class, we want it to be reflective of the communities that we serve. So we usually have about 40% people of color and/or women that go through our courses.
Excellent. And what types of skills are they getting some training on?
So our typical web dev course teaches Java, C#. On the front end, it teaches JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and then it's either a Java or C# track. And then we also have a Women's Plus program that caters to women in technology as people identifying as women or non-binary. And in those courses, we run a data science track, a SQL track, data analysis, a Salesforce, and then we also run a web dev track on that as well.
The exact same skills that a lot of employers are out there trying to find new people and new talent in. So congratulations. Now, this isn't just a little 12-week program. This is more involved in that, correct?
It really is.
Elaborate on that? Yeah.
So our standard programs run about 6 months, and then our Women Plus program can run up to a year in some of those tracks. They meet a couple days a week. The Women's Plus is 1 day a week, but they meet for 3 hours. It's virtual right now, but our hope is to get back into in-person programming. But essentially, we have some lecture time and then some studio time for people to go through the program. And then once they're done with the core curriculum, they also go through a program called Liftoff, and within that, they actually build out a project. So they're going to spend all the time in the courses, and then they're going to put that into production. And in order to graduate from the class, they will have to build out some type of project, participate in live coding reviews, go through professional development for creating a resume, developing a GitHub website, LinkedIn profile, the whole 9 yards.
There are a lot of companies out there that are hiring. A comment I've heard before is, we don't really want to wait 4 years for someone to get the training that they need to hire us, but we want more than 12 weeks. So it's good to hear that you guys are, somewhere in that sweet spot and, focusing on things that companies are out there are looking for. Is there a success story that you can tell me about where someone, a company hired some people or a group of people, and just so we can see how this works?
I have so many success stories. It's really a pleasure to work here and to be a part of this. So Boeing has been a great partner this year. They've hired almost 40 people. They've gone through some changes, and like we see a lot of companies going through digital transformations, and so they really have a growing need in either product ownership or Scrum Masters. So we've had where we recently ran a class of 13 where they took people from our program. And in that situation, they were actually trained to be web developers, and we put them through some additional training to create the talent that they needed. And now they're on site performing as Scrum Masters.
Wow, 40 people from one company from your program.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal. And a company like Boeing, I'm sure they're bringing in lots of the different people competing out there for those computer science grads, but hey, let's get some other people. And teachers, if I recall, you had some very specific success with teachers. Can you just elaborate on that?
Yeah, teachers make great Scrum Masters. They have a high sense of agility. They definitely.
How do you deal with all those kids? No.
Exactly. Stress management is gold star right there. But yeah, they're used to doing project plans for their classes and stuff like that, and so they make great Scrum Masters.
A lot of transferable skills right there. I never thought about before until you brought that up to my attention the other day when we first spoke. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Hire teachers as Scrum Masters. Cities that you guys are involved with and where you're getting candidates and being able to supply them?
Absolutely. So we're headquartered here in St. Louis, and then we also have operations in Kansas City, and then we launched in Philadelphia last year, and we just graduated our first class there. So super excited about that. But honestly, 60% of our business falls outside of our core locations. So we have many customers that come to us, and while the general services that we do are programs that we run that I mentioned before, the web dev programs and stuff like that, we can also customize training solutions for our companies so that they get the talent they need. So we've had customers come to us and they fall outside of our core locations. And so they may either pull people from the programs that we run locally, or we might recruit specifically for their needs.
Okay. And how many people are involved in the training programs at any one point in time?
So it definitely ebbs and flows. So we may register 150 plus students, and I would say about 60% of them make it through. So it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, and then you make a lot of compromises to get through the program. And we definitely provide help along the way, but at the end of the day, we have to keep the integrity of the program intact. So there are points where people will drop throughout the program just from life happens. Some people may get into it and feel like this isn't the right fit, and like the door isn't closed. They can always
Not
come
everybody
back.
graduates college. See, so.
Right, exactly. So to date, we have probably launched close to 3,000 careers since we started the program in 2013.
Okay, and how many years has that been is the program, or
So almost 8.
8 years? So over 300 people a year is really the number I was trying to get to. That is a significant contribution to the IT community. So thank you very much. Yeah, we need them. And I suspect a lot of them are just well on their way with their careers and looking back and say, I got started here. And so there's a successful track record. So thank you very much for helping that out. What would you like companies to know more about you, or where can students find you? Please elaborate on that.
Yeah, so you can always follow us on all of our social channels. We're at launchcode.org. We run programs throughout the year. Oftentimes it's the beginning of the year, and then we have another session that starts like around the September timeframe. Currently registering students in Kansas City through the end of the month. So that class is open for registration. And then you can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Again, www.launchcode.org. What do I want you to know about us? We're a great alternative to filling your talent pipeline. On any given day, we have 300 plus people that are talent ready and job ready. They've gone through the program, they've hit all our markers, and we've been fully vetted and ready to go. So a lot of diverse talent, as I mentioned before. We have people from all walks of life. The folks that come through our program have lived a little bit of life, so they have those life experiences. The universities can only pump out so much talent, and oftentimes that's younger talent. So you'll get people that have a little bit more seasoned life experiences that goes through our programs, and employers really do like that. And when you get somebody out of a launch code program, they have grit. Like, it's not easy to get through it, so you definitely see that passion, drive, and aptitude. So if you are hitting the wall and looking for something new, we're a great alternative. And so the way that we work is when we put people through our job placement program, it's really kind of we do an apprenticeship program. So the student is a W-2 employee of LaunchCode, and we put them on site at our clients, and they need to be mentored still because it's kind of on the job training. But after 90 days, they're able to make an offer for employment for full time if they decide they want to. This is a paid apprenticeship, so it kind of feels like a contract to hire type of model as far as the engagement with us and the client, or they can hire them directly for a nominal fee. But we always have talent available, so if you're looking for a new source, give us a call.
Great program. And I can't emphasize enough, there's such demand for young, new people to come into this workforce. I've often said that the number of IT and software people is going to double in 10 years. Where are these people going to come from? Boot camp's still part of that need, but there's a lot of companies that they're good with it, but they would like something a little bit more. They'd like to have someone who's just involved a little bit more training, proven that they have that grit and have some life experiences. So I just really like pushing companies like yourself and or just help filling the need. And you're doing a great job. Please continue doing it. And let's see if we can help get the word out a little bit.
Sounds fantastic. Appreciate the partnership. It's so interesting to the students that go through this program pay nothing, $0 ever, and so you definitely open up the pipeline of talent that you get access to that you traditionally wouldn't. So excited to be a part of it. Excited to chat with you and share our story.
Okay. Well, we'll help get the word out. So launchcode.org, and let's get some people over there and looking at you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.